Robert Saleh and the defense needed to rise up multiple times in this game in New Orleans. They did, and the 49ers are 2-0.
Never a doubt, baby. Never a doubt. Never once doubted the team. But, again, in this league, there's no easy wins. Credit the New Orleans Saints. They played a hell of a game. I think they were vastly underrated going into this game. The 49ers are just going to roll on them. The more and more I watch them, the more and more I watch their defense and the way they played in week one. And again, that could just be an outlier. I knew this game was going to come down to something like this. And you know what? In the NFL, thank God it's not college. You don't get points. You don't go up the rankings because you blew out Hawaii State. You get a victory and you're 2-0, and the San Francisco 49ers, even with all the injuries, still haven't lost the game.
No Brock Purdy in the game. No George Kittle in the game. The offense at times they struggled. They really couldn't run the ball the entire day. But when this defense had to rise up and make plays on the last two possessions, they absolutely did. The first one came, the Saints get the ball back with 4 minutes and 35 seconds to go. And who closes it out? Nick Bosa and Mykel Williams completely collapse one side of the Saints offensive line. Bosa gets the sack and the Saints punt. And the Niners get the ball, Jay, at the 50-yard line. They're on the 50. All they need is like one first down. They can kick a field goal. And instead, they gain a whopping 4 yards and have to punt the ball back to New Orleans. Now, I will give Thomas Morstead credit. He pinned him deep. Saints were, getting a lot of crappy little dink and dunk plays to move down the field. But this time at the end of the game on fourth down, it's not Nick Bosa. It's Bryce Huff, who Robert Saleh has talked about again and again and again as a closer, somebody that can close out the game and make a play. That is exactly why you got Bryce Huff. He flies around the edge, knocks the ball out, and kills any chance of a New Orleans comeback.
100%. That's exactly what that is. That situational pass rusher, that end of the game time, when it's hurry up offense, you get out there, you get a guy who has bend. It looked like Fuaga didn't even touch him. And he went and he finished it. That's how you draw it up. Look, opponent be damned. Setting be damned. Situation is what matters, right? That situation right there is what you want to see. Bosa gets him off the field the first time. Great. We expect that because Nick Bosa is great. But Bryce Huff is that element is that we were asking for all offseason about situational pass rusher. Guy who, when it's time to pin their ears back, can go and make a play. Not only did he make a play, he made the play and sent the 49ers out of New Orleans with a victory.
Arjun, YouTube channel member, says, when we start 2-0. That's right. You don't have to give it back, baby. Appreciate the super chat, Arjun.
Well, I think what he means is the last 2 times that the 49ers have started 2-0, they've been in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I see, Arjun. I didn't pick up what you were putting down. See, that's why, Jay, thank you. I did not get that. Okay, I'll take it. Look, you start 2 games on the road, hostile environments. Your backup quarterback is in one of them. And, I was frustrated at times with Mac Jones in the game, but, I also didn't think that we were going to get Mac Jones that could give us 39 pass attempts for 279 yards with 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Now, I did have a fumble, which was he never should have fumbled that ball. But, for your backup quarterback, that's exactly the effort you wanted.
Who's going to start it? Who's going to start saying, hey, that's why you don't pay Brock Purdy? I'm not going to, but no, Mac Jones, I had full confidence that he would be able to operate this offense. He's not Nick Mullins. He's not C.J. Beathard. He's none of those guys. He's still a guy that, at times can resemble a starting quarterback. The point is to try to limit the amount of times that you have to send out Mac Jones. But if you give him a week to prepare, and if you give him a chance with, some guys that were getting open, by the way, that Jawan Jennings touchdown was filthy, he can execute. He can execute. And I think he is a steady hand, and he's somebody who's not going to panic in the moment, and you saw that.
This wasn't Brian Allen out there, right? It wasn't Josh Dobbs. It was somewhat competent. And Dallas E points out, thanks for the super chat, Dallas, they're winning games that we would have lost last year. This is a 100%. Second straight week. Niners had to close it out in the fourth quarter. Their offense should have closed it out, but they didn't, and the defense picked them up. It was complimentary football from the 49ers today, and that has to be a good sign because there are enough guys still on this team that had to have that little seed of doubt, Jay, like, oh, no, here we go again, right? That type of thing. And for the second straight week, instead, the Niners said, no, It's not last year. It's 2025. It is a new year, and now they are 2-0, 2 straight road wins. They're going to play the Cardinals in week 3. Who knows? Brock may be back. He may not be back. I don't know. We'll find out, but damn, this is as good a start, at least record-wise, as the 49ers could have hoped for.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using the code GSPE. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
Yeah, and then the second half started to feel like last year. Penalties, right? Third down penalties, keeping the drive going. You were just like, oh my God, these mistakes, you're killing yourself. But they absolutely would have folded last season. By the way, Russell Wilson, 433 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. They are now beating the Dallas Cowboys with little time left. But yeah, it just felt like this was a game that they typically would have lost. And I think the difference is obviously growing and learning from those experiences last year, but Robert Saleh and his defense, and it's a little bit different, right? Like they actually have guys that can close, and you see it from different people at different times. I want to give a shout out to Michael Williams, who for all the talk this entire weekend, my God, was setting the edge and had a few big plays that were very eye popping. What you want to see, Yetur Gross-Matos has been actually very good, and I think that's kind of falling under the wayside as well too, because Bosa has the final play, and then so does Huff. But I mean, again, I think defensively, this team is stronger than they were last year mentally, and they know how to finish these games from previous years. Just didn't happen last year, and now you're seeing that mentality back with Robert Saleh. It has to be part of the reason.
Tony, thank you very much for the super chat. Kicker update. You ask for a kicker update, Tony, you get a kicker update. Eddie Pinheiro starts the day by missing the first extra point, the first kick he ever attempts for the 49ers. You know what? He made a couple of field goals, a couple of 40-plus yards. I don't know what to do with hands, Jay. They didn't hook. They didn't slice. They were good when it left his foot, and they were good the whole way. He drilled them.
The less we speak about kickers, the better. And what I mean by that is if we're discussing the kicker, we still have a problem. It's like I say over and over. It's like when a backup left tackle comes in for Trent Williams, but you don't hear his name. If we don't hear the kicker's name, things are good, and it's fine. But no, look, Kyle Shanahan wasn't even watching. I think Kyle's just, done with the whole kicking thing, but I think he has a lot of confidence in Pinheiro, and you can see those things were like tried and true right down the middle. So hooray for the kicker, man.
Speaker, thanks for the comment. Says great dub, and look at those field goals. LOL. It's nice to not have to sit and like clutch your pearls for every kick.
Can I make a joke? Eddie Pinheiro is accepting your apologies.
I saw your tweet. That was excellent.
Well, I love that people got the joke. Like some people were like, "No, he missed the field goal." I was like, completely missed the joke. Like just went right over your head, dude.
Jay, Sunday during a 49ers game is not the time when people are prepared
to be joking around. Listen, man, I'm going to get these jokes off. I don't care. It's tense. I'm going to get these jokes off.
Shout out to Steph Sanchez, who was in New Orleans for the game. Maybe she was the good luck charm. Seemed like there was a lot of red in New Orleans, Jay.
Oh, yeah, man. From the parties, like John Chapman's party, the 49ers invasion, like they go in packs. I mean, I don't go to Levi's. I go to other stadiums because I want to see other stadiums. I've already seen Levi's, but anytime that I've gone, when I went to Tampa in 2019 for week 1, all 49ers fans, we were literally celebrating like on the way out. In Philly, they came in, they took over when we went. Where else? Atlanta, Chicago. The 49ers are just going to be out there, especially, I hate to say it, but when the team is good, really good, then more people are coming out the woodworks, but the team travels well regardless.
Gameplan.exe on Twitch, shout out to the Twitch fam, says Stout was up and down, but as a blitzed, he was exploited. I think, when Saleh blitzed, they took a couple shots on him. Teams are going to throw jump balls on him because he's only 5'8". He had a nice one-handed sack of Spencer Rattler in this one. It was more of what we've seen from Upton, right? Some good, some bad, and of course now he's hurt too, so we got to sit and wait for that.
And you want to give, and oh my God, the Dallas Cowboys just tied the game to send it to overtime. What an insane game. 37-37. What an insane game. Aubrey from 64. I wonder where he was drafted. They must have used the high.
Kicker update. That's insanity.
I mean, they must have drafted him very high if you wanted a kicker to make a kick from that far. But yeah, with what I noticed was the same thing that the 49ers were doing on defense last week was on third down and on crucial downs, we're just gonna blitz you and we're gonna get there and we're gonna play man on the back end. However, and aside from the last blitz which actually got home, the Saints were doing a great job at picking up the blitz.
Yes.
And what happens is when you have that blitz picked up, everything else is just very clear. There's nothing on the back end that's zone or anything like that. It was a lot of cover one man last week of different variations with blitzes. And when you don't get home, that's the risk of blitzing, and you can get the ball out. I thought Mac did really well on against the blitz as well too. There was a play where they tell quarterbacks this all the time. It's like wherever the blitz is coming from, throw the football there because that's where the advantage is, right? If it's coming from the left, throw it right there. He actually really did that. I was really impressed with Mac Jones today, man. He really was good.